So we just left Santa Rosalia. We've been here for almost a week. We anchored on Friday and went into the Marina on Saturday, and today is Thursday night, about 6 o'clock, 6:30-ish. Our next stop is going to be San Francisquito, which is about 70 or 75 miles north. There's not really a lot of places to stop between here and there. There are actually 2 little places potentially you could stop on the coast along here, but there's not a lot of protection. It's just not the time of year to stop there, I don't think. So we were going to go to San Marcos, but the weather just wasn't cooperating. The weather in the swell didn't look favorable for going there. So, and the swell's, we got a little bit of swell right now, but it's really flat. There's no wind, but we need to make water. That's why we're decided to leave now. And then the wind is supposed to fill in this evening, and we can sail most likely. So that would be nice. It's supposed to be coming from the west. I don't know what this is over here, but there's some weird, I don't know if it's a dust or fog or what it is. Can you tell?
Well, there's a fire burning.
Oh, is it a fire? Oh, I guess it's a fire. So, it's like the industrial part of Santa Rosalia, or just outside Santa Rosalia. So, we didn't really film anything in Santa Rosalia.
We're burned out.
Yeah, I think we're a little burned out on filming and making videos and putting videos out. I didn't put one out last weekend. I put a very short one out today, and I don't know. I don't know if we're going to continue putting them out with any regularity. So we'll see.
I think we had a lot more free time to socialize and not have a camera all the time and not always be mic'd up, and we've had audio issues. Just kind of getting frustrated and burned out, and I don't know. We're going to reevaluate this YouTube thing and see how it goes. Padre Santos is right there in the marina, so you know they got to be making a killing on all the cruisers that come through here. So game night just about every night. Walked around, had a lot of rat dinners, good meals, and hilarious conversation. We met Lisa and Pat on
Soulmate.
SOL mate. But get it? Spanish soul, son.
Soulmate.
So, yeah, and they're really fun to hang out with.
Santa Rosalia, it can be, I should say, very social. Because it's so small. And it's just really a bunch of gringos coming up there, and, where are you going? Either you're going north or south, you're going somewhere. So everybody kind of just gets together.
Everything's close, walking distance, convenient.
Compared to like La Paz, yes, you're anchored out, and then you go to the dinghy dock, but this just isn't that same vibe at all. Like, this had just a really good vibe, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion. We could have easily just stayed at anchor, I think, because we didn't have any water at the dock until today. And then even in the bathrooms, the water was sporadic. Rich didn't have hot water today, but he had water, but there wasn't any water yesterday. And that's really the only reason we would go to the dock, is to get, wash the boat and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was really frustrating. And then today, all of a sudden, we had water at the dock. So we actually got the boat washed. That was nice.
It's a third of the price of La Paz, too.
It is. It's cheap, but you do get what you pay for. There is a pool, no water in the pool.
Maybe in July.
Yeah, we did have power, but you pay, it's metered. The water and the power are metered. So they're on top of what you pay for the slip.
It was 150 pesos for
Yeah, it was cheap, but, it's just the same. Everything adds up after a while. But the town is super nice. We had some really good food there, and everything's super convenient. We were able to, really stock up on all the food that we depleted over the last few weeks, so that was nice.
Yeah, we're loaded for bear. We got full diesel tanks, full jugs on deck.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So also the fuel dock is closed. Don't know why. So luckily there's a Pemex right across the street. So you can zip over there, and there's a cart you can take over there to get your fuel and stuff. But just one of those things. It's like, okay, no water. Yeah, we did 3 trips to the fuel dock to get everything
for the Pemex station.
Yeah, to the Pemex station to get everything fueled up again. But like I said, you get what you pay for. Some things just don't work sometimes.
Yeah, like every other light bulb in the bathroom works.
I will say that the power, we did plug into their power and it was fine. Like, we had reverse polarity in other places. Well, in Sonata, really. We haven't gone anywhere else. So I don't know if we plugged in San Jose.
Yeah, we did.
But anyway, the power seemed fine. There's something out there. Might be just ceiling. Yeah. Oh, it makes dolphins. Yeah, it makes dolphins. There's some birds doing some things, babe. See these dolphins?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a huge pod.
Yeah.
They go all the way over here.
They're underneath our boat. Right on. Yeah, this is pretty massive. It's spread out.
Yeah. Look at them just jumping. They're leaping over there.
Feeding time. Look at these guys. They're going right underneath us. Yeah, look at these little guys. They're small ones.
Are they the vaquito or what?
Might be the vaquitas. Vaquita.
Yeah, because they're up here. Oh, look at them all over there. Oh, look at that bird over there. See that?
Yeah.
Oh.
These are little ones. I think these are the vaquitas.
I hope so.
Look at that, dude. There's a Dorado school over there. There's got to be food.
So I think some of these little dolphins out here might be the little, are they called vaquito?
Yeah, vaquita.
Vaquita. Little tiny vaquita dolphins. They're in the North Sea of Cortez, and these little dolphins look pretty small.
And they're also attacked by the common bottlenose.
Oh, are they? Why do
Yeah.
they attack them?
Because they're punks. Dolphins are horrible animals.
Shut up. And why do we love seeing them?
Because it's cool. Good morning. We left Santa Rosalia last night around 6 o'clock. And it's about 6 a.m. following day. And sun's just coming up. And we're heading to San Francisquito. It's just up there. Yeah, so I got a couple of lines dragging behind the boat. Jenny's down below sleeping. And nice sunrise this morning. Got the cat down here, crashed out. She's having a horrible time. Did some sailing last night. We motored for about 5 hours before we got some wind, and then when we got wind, we got about 22 knots, double reefed with a staysail, and then I go down below and I hear Jenny messing with the sails, and we're doing like 0 knots moving, and the wind died to nothing. So she rolled everything up and freaking turned on the key, started the engine, and now we're motoring the whole way. So out of 12 hours and a half so far, we've probably sailed about 2 of it. So, and I think we've got about another, I don't know, 15 miles to go before we're at San Francisquito. So anyway, that's the update. We're out fishing.
Where are we?
We are, where are we? San Francisquito. I think it's Squito, even though all the gringos that I've met call it San Francisquito. But I don't think there's a squee sound in the Spanish language.
I don't know.
It's feels like about 30 feet deep here. So I'm trying some vertical jigging. Let's see what happens. I don't know what I'm doing here. I've never fished like this before.
They were pulled in here, I don't know, like 9 o'clock or something on Friday, and that was yesterday, and pretty much didn't do anything yesterday. Just hung out. I read my book quite a bit, and did you do anything? We put the dinghy in the water. That's about it. I didn't go anywhere.
Put the dinghy in.
The wind kind of kicked up yesterday, and it was pretty windy here. and the tide was out, and there's not a lot of sand on the beach when the tide's out. It's all rocks. When the tide comes up, it gets up to the sandy part. You can probably land a little bit easier. So today's Saturday. Tomorrow night, Sunday night, Monday morning, there's supposed to be like up to 35, 40 knot winds from the southwest, which where we are is really good for that because we're behind a mountain that's on our southwest side. So we're in a little cove. We thought about, did you get something? We thought about leaving today, actually. We thought, well, maybe we'll just jump up somewhere else. But I don't know. We just haven't been here. We haven't done anything here. And our friend Lisa on Soulmate, she said this is like her favorite anchorage to be in like the whole area, in all of Baja. So we kind of want to give it a little bit of a chance. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are bailing, but a lot of people that we've run into are hauling out in April.
2 months before us.
Yeah, and today is the 30th of March, so they have to get up to Penasco. It's like in a week, and which isn't far. But you can't really hang out and do stuff. We're not hauling out till June, so we got time to kill. So we're gonna hang out. Yeah. Anyway, this is a nice little place to be. What is it?
Barracuda.
Oh, you have it like side hooked.
Foul hooked it.
Yeah, you did. That's terrible.
Barracuda.
He's little.
He is little. Sorry, dude.
Yo, God, is he gonna be okay?
He's gonna be winded.
Huh?
I don't know what to tell you. Jesus,
First fish.
dude. Foul hook. Incidental. I catch.
Oh, he's not off yet. Do you want me to grab him?
I can't get him.
Grab his body.
He's so jacked.
And what are you using and why?
I'm using a jig.
And what?
That's
not
my other one on. Brand new.
Brand new.
Nice jig.
Broken.
Nice one.
Guess there's a rock there.
That anchor set's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bonanza's pretty nice. I told you I saw a coyote walking here this morning.
I've heard that no, but I read that you can hear them at night.
Yeah. I yelled at you. I think you were brushing your teeth.
Oh, I
I said, "There's a coyote," and then the coyote stopped and looked at me when I was out in the boat.
And it ran away?
No, he sauntered away. I wouldn't say he ran. It's a paper nautilus shell. I'll have to go back and Google it, but
Flip it over.
but you can see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And they're really thin shells.
Yeah, it didn't look like a shell.
Fish. This wheel is completely dug in. We don't have nothing big to pull this out.
No.
Dinghy paddle.
So last night yesterday afternoon, late afternoon into the evening, we had to do a little bit of a rescue for a gentleman who was on this Nordhaben 68-foot yacht here. This is his dinghy. He broke his leg up in this little arroyo up here, and we had to carry him out. And he was taken, not sure if it was the Coast Guard or Navy or who it was, but last night or this morning, I guess around 2, they came and got him. His wife is still on the Nordhaben, and we told him we would get his dinghy. It was full of water last night, but it's empty now, and we're gonna see if we can dig it out and get it back to their boat. I think this dinghy's taking on water. Is it still taking on water? Huh? Is it still taking on water? Okay. Okay. We just left San Francisquito. We've been here since Friday.
Did we get here Friday?
Yeah, today is April 1st. And
Monday.
we're just going to hop up north. I'm not quite sure which anchorage we're going to go to 5-6 hours away. There's is it Los Animas or Animas Slot or something? I can't remember. And then there's another one. I'm not sure which. The wind's kind of been really fluky. So I'm not quite sure which one's going to have the protection for the wind we're going to get. It's like day 300 of this cough I've got. Yeah, but we're sailing. We actually have a reef man. I know we don't have that much wind. I mean, we got 15 knots, but we've been surprised a couple times. Yeah, we've had some surprises pipe up real suddenly. So even in the anchorage, it goes from almost dead calm to 20, like in a blink of an eye. So anyway, we just put a reef in, and we've got the jib out, and the wind's kind of from behind us, so the staysail won't really do anything. So we have that ready to go if we need it. But so we have a little story about what happened to us in San Francisquito, but we have to do it before the battery dies, because once the battery dies, we're done with the story.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. I guess I'll start because I'm the one who started it.
Yeah.
Okay. So not yesterday, the day before, which was what, Saturday? We pretty much didn't. We sailed all day Thursday night, Friday, got here Friday morning, and we're kind of beat, and we just kind of hung out. A couple other boats came in. This Nordhaven 68-foot Nordhaven motor yacht was here, called Great Adventure, and we have anchored next to them 2 other times, Santa Rosalia and Agua Verde, and we never really met them officially. We talked to the man.
He told us our nav lights were on first thing in the morning. We had just come in from a 14-hour overnight sail, and he lets us know that we left our nav lights on during the day. Yeah, it feels like about 16.
No, it feels more than that.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, we're cooking.
Well, on Saturday, we went out fishing in the morning and just cruised along the beach and walked along the beach and what have you. Not anything major. And then came back to the boat. And we're just hanging out, reading and what have you. And I kept hearing this weird noise in the afternoon. And I looked outside. There was a couple other boats here, like I said. And there was, I think one of them had a kid. So I was like, well, maybe someone's on the beach screaming or yelling or something. And I kept hearing something almost sound like a bird. And so that was like at 3 o'clock. And I think I looked 2 or 3 times, and I looked at the other boats. No one else is out in their cockpit or doing anything or on shore. They all have their dinghies on their boats. So I kind of went back inside. And then about 4 o'clock, I looked over at Great Adventure, and she's waving and yelling, help. So our dinghy was actually on the boat. There was really high winds that night. We wanted everything kind of tied down and secured. So we put the dinghy back in the water, put the motor on, and went over. And her husband was missing. So he went to shore like 11 o'clock in the morning. And this was 4:30 by this time. And he wasn't back yet. And she's like, this is not like him. Like, he wouldn't do this. So Rich and I went to shore. We saw his dinghy on shore, and when we got close, we could see it was completely flooded with water. So it was up on the rocks, but the waves were just breaking over the top of it. So we went to shore and hiked around it at about 10 minutes. We were yelling his name. His name's Jeff, and we were yelling for him, and he finally answered. He could hear us. So we made our way to him after it was about 1.5 miles, I guess. It took us like 25 minutes or so to get to him. Anyway, we made it to him, and yes, his leg was broken. He says he broke his one of his lower bone legs, like tibia or fibula, just above his boot. Leg. Yeah, on his right leg, just above his boot. So I stayed with him. We had our handheld radio. We hailed Tracy on Great Adventure and told her we found him, and we were going to try to get him down. So Rich actually went back to the dinghy, and we had a splint and some emergency supplies on the boat. So he went back and got those, went to our neighboring boat. We hadn't met any of these people, and kind of begged him to help us, because the 2 of us carrying this guy down as a full grown man, it was just going to be really hard. So he decided yes, he could help us. So, but he wouldn't put his dinghy in the water. So we had to make a bunch of runs around and had to go to Tracy's boat and get some stuff, and then Rich and the other gentleman made their way back to me and Jeff. So we splinted his leg. We
he kind of hobbled, but he was spent by this time. He'd been out there.
Took 2 hours to get him back to his boat.
Yeah, he broke his leg about just after 1 o'clock. So he'd been sitting there for quite a while. And there's coyotes that roam around this beach. We saw them on the beach. So he wasn't too worried, but he just really didn't want to stay the night out there. And he did have a flannel shirt on, and he had shorts on. So he probably would have been pretty cold. And he didn't have any water. And no radio. After about 2 hours of kind of you have to wind your way down and pick where it's less stickery to get around, to get down to the beach. It took us about 2 hours to do it. And by this time it was dark, like flashlights on, can't see where you're going, dark. So anyway, we made it to the beach and got him over the dune and down onto the beach. And I ran to the dinghy and our dinghy, and it was full of water. So Rich had pulled it way up on the beach, but the tide came in. Big tides here in the North Sea. So, the tide came in and swamped our boat. So I am trying to bail because I was supposed to go grab the dinghy and go back down the other side of the beach and pick everybody up. And I wasn't coming, obviously. And so Rich finally came down to see what was taking me so long and helped me bail out our boat, which was now full of sand too. So we did that. Got back in the dinghy. He dropped me off at our boat because our dinghy's small, really only holds 3 people. And then went back and got them and was able to get Jeff to his boat. And his wife was so relieved and so thankful. She was pretty frantic most of the day.
So she was online getting help from friends and stuff in the area. They contacted somebody who spoke Spanish. They got a hold of some emergency rescue. They dispatched a boat. It took about 5 hours for an emergency. It was a big rigid inflatable, it was like Coast Guard rescue, Mexican Coast Guard or something like that. And,
it was Marine Rescue is what it was called.
They come down, and about 2 o'clock in the morning, we got woke up by a hail on Channel 16, and somebody came, offloaded him, and took him to, I'm guessing, Santa Rosalia or Loreto. And
I think they'd motored to Santa Rosalia, got in a car to Loreto on a plane to Cabo.
So he ends up in a hospital in Cabo to get plates and pins screwed into his leg.
Yeah. In the meantime, his wife is here on the boat, and she does not. I mean, it's a big boat. I wouldn't really want to. I guess in an emergency, I could drive it somewhere and probably drop the anchor close to a town where maybe somebody could get me. But, I didn't mention too, the next day, so yesterday, we went to shore and were able to rescue his dinghy. So we did get that back onto their boat. And of course, they have this big, nice crane. Rich rode up in the crane on the dinghy. It's a beautiful boat. I mean,
so back to the original
boat.
When she was trying to get a hold of somebody to help her, Jeni yelled, "Turn on your radio." And, when Jeni finally came out of the boat, she's like, "Turn on your radio." And the lady's like, "I don't know how."
Yeah.
So we dinghied over and...
Yeah. So her husband, he's the captain. And...
she's along for the ride.
Yeah, she just doesn't... she doesn't have a lot of desire, really. I mean, she wants to be on the boat and she likes being on the boat and wants to read and hang out, but that's about the extent of what she wants to do. So anyway, she didn't realize that the VHF breakers were off. So we went on the boat and turned on the breakers. She was able to get the radio on after that. So
when we went on a little walkabout to find Jeff, we were able to contact her, let her know we had found him, located him with a broken leg and all that. So.
I think now at least she does know how to use the radio. So if anything happens again, she could hail somebody. So anyway, they picked him up. Now she's alone on the boat. And then, got this really expensive boat in an anchorage, kind of a remote anchorage here in San Francisquito. So anyway, some people are coming to help her move the boat, or to move the boat for her, I should say, today. There's a little... very rustic resort here, I guess, that they're going to drive to, but they need a way to get to her boat. And we wanted to leave this morning because the wind is supposed to be good and the sailing's supposed to be good. So luckily, there are 2 other boats in the marina, or in the anchorage. Nobody has their radio on ever. So I used No Foreign Land app, and I could see both of them on there. So I messaged them and said, "Hey, is there any way you guys could be here tomorrow to do, this transport of people?" And luckily, they weren't leaving till like 5 o'clock tonight. So the people are going to be here at noon, and they'll be able to transport them. So hopefully, Tracy will get the boat moved and she can join her husband down in Cabo. But anyway, just one of those things, I guess. I'm glad we definitely feel more prepared now that we've done something like this. You know, you kind of always think, what would I do? But I think we did okay.
Yeah. If you go hiking out in the Baja Desert.
Take a radio. Make sure your boat.
Yeah, if you're going to go alone.
Yeah, your mothership has the radio on. He had his Leatherman, which is good. Didn't have any water. I don't know. It might just be worth it to take a little backpack with a little mini emergency kit or something.
When I was headed back to the boat to grab supplies, Jenny was joking around with him like, you know, if you want to meet your boat neighbors, you know, there's easier ways to do it than
I did tell him that.
Yeah.
What he said too was, when I said that, I said, you know, you want to meet people in the anchorage, Jeff, you just need to dinghy over. You don't got to like do some dramatic accident for us to come rescue you. And he said he actually was. He said he told his wife, I'm going to go over to Ramble On and see if they want to come over. And
invite them over for cocktails.
I think she's probably more of an introvert. And she was just like, oh, you know, I'd have to really clean the boat and it's really kind of dirty. I mean, this is a
68-foot Nordhaven. It's like 4 stories.
$4 million boat. I mean, it's not, and we went on it. It's not dirty. Anyway, everybody has their own level of clean. So anyway, I get it. And so he's like, okay, fine. Well, I don't want to just sit here. I'm going to go ashore and go hiking. So
I guess we did end up getting to meet him.
We have been trying to kind of say yes more because we also are kind of introverted people. That's kind of like being out here by ourselves. But when we meet people, you know, we've just been making an effort to meet more people, I guess. So maybe this will also help her. Like, hey, if you had just said yes, Jeff, invite them over, then none of this would have happened. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
All right. I think the battery's at like 10%.
I know. We made it. We made it.
All right. Yeah. So we got some really nice wind right now. Double reefed main and the jib out only. It's just about on a beam.
We could shake a reef, but
I don't want to.
I know. I don't.
We'll wait.
We're chicken.
I'm not chicken. I just don't want to get caught with my pants down because 10 minutes later we'll have to put it in again.
I know we do. It happens.
This wind's going to pick up this afternoon. It always builds.
We're still going 5, aren't we?
Yeah, we're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. No worries. We're going to make some water, but I guess we don't have to now.
Well, we still have to sometime.
I still got to put out my fishing line on the starboard side, so.
All right then.
I guess I'll get to that.
That's the update.
Yeah.